If you're a school administrator, this probably sounds less like a tagline and more like, well, a fantasy, right? For way too long, building a master schedule has been this tangled mess of spreadsheets, late nights, and software that just feels like it's fighting you every step of the way. But what if there was a genuinely smarter way to do it? That's what we're going to dive into today. We're talking about SchedShape, a tool designed from the ground up to bring AI-powered master scheduling to schools just like yours.
I mean, we all know this story. It's that time of year, you're faced with this giant, high-stakes puzzle that can literally eat up weeks of your time. It's so stressful. And the worst part? After all that grinding work, you're still not sure if it's the best possible schedule for your students or your teachers. So let's just put it side by side. You've got the old way, weeks and weeks of work, sky-high stress levels, and using tools that are just clunky and inflexible. And then you have the SchedShape way. You get the speed of AI, you get a truly optimal schedule, and you get a system that's actually built for how schools really truly work. Okay, so a smarter system sounds fantastic, but how does it actually pull it off? Let's get under the hood a bit and see what makes this whole thing tick.
The whole approach is built on this really elegant two-phase workflow. First, you've got data setup. This is where you get total clarity and control over all your variables, your teachers, your courses, your rooms, all your constraints. And separating this step is absolutely crucial because it means your data is perfect before the AI even starts working its magic. Then, once that foundation is rock solid, you kick off schedule generation. And that's where the AI just blitzes through thousands of possibilities to find the best fit.
At the very heart of this is what's called the intelligent scheduling engine. Now, don't just think of it as an automator. Think of it more like an optimizer. It's an AI core that's designed to juggle everything. All your non-negotiable rules, but also your softer preferences, like a teacher's request. It balances it all to create a schedule that actually works better for everyone. And this is so important. This isn't some generic business software that's been tweaked for a school. No way. It was built specifically for K-12. It gets the nuances, Things like teacher prep periods, those complex grade level rules, or tracking students who are on very specific pathways. And it doesn't matter if your school has 50 kids or 5,000, it's designed to handle it all.
Of course, a new tool is pretty useless if it doesn't play nicely with the systems you already rely on. So SchedShape was designed from day one to be compatible with your Student Information System, your SIS. It uses the One Roster standard, which means it integrates seamlessly with the big players like PowerSchool, Infinite Campus, and Fax, just to name a few. The data just flows.
So all of that brings us to what might be the most powerful and frankly coolest feature. Forget digging through spreadsheets or running complex reports. Imagine if you could just ask your schedule a question. In plain English.
Well, with SchedShape, you can. You can literally just type something like, which students are missing electives? And poof, there's your list. Or how many teachers have back-to-back classes? So you can see who might be heading for burnout. You can even ask it to show me all sections with low enrollment. It completely changes the game, turning your schedule from a static document into a dynamic, searchable resource that gives you answers right when you need them. Okay, the technology is obviously impressive. But we all know that adopting a new platform, especially for something as mission-critical as your master schedule, it all comes down to trust. So let's talk about the people who built this and the experience they have. This number, it really says it all. Over 10,000 institutions already trust the creators of SchedShape. This is not their first rodeo. They have a massive track record of building software that schools depend on. And where does that trust come from? Well, SchedShape was founded by the very same people who created Parchment, which you probably know as a leader in digital credentials. They've spent decades in edtech, and they know what it takes to build software that schools can rely on, and that ultimately helps students succeed. They're not just techies, they're solving real problems for education. All right, so we've covered the problem, we've looked at the tech, and we've met the team behind it. So what's your next move? Well, the most important step is to see how this could work for your school with your specific challenges. So the real question is, are you ready to see what it's like to trade in those weeks of stress for a schedule that's truly optimized? Are you ready to find out what this kind of AI-powered scheduling could do for your students and your staff? The only way to really know for sure is to see it with your own eyes.
So the final takeaway here is simple. Go book a demo. It's time to see for yourself what a future without those spreadsheets and all that scheduling stress really actually looks like.